Hi everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen and another installment of The Holidays Are Coming. Today I have this beautiful and delicious cinnamon roll pull-apart bread that is gonna just blow your mind. We're going to once again use a 1.5 pound portion of my perfect sandwich loaf dough, and we're gonna create this really delicious cinnamon roll pull-apart that's going to be perfect for Christmas morning, and I think just the perfect gift for your friends and neighbors this holiday season. These are quick to make, they're super easy, and they look really impressive. Let's go see how this all comes together. We're going to go over all of the ingredients for this super easy cinnamon roll pull-apart loaf. You're going to start with a 1.5 pound portion of bread dough. This is my perfect sandwich loaf dough. If you have never tried this, I will leave a link at the end of this video, and if I remember, I'll make sure I put it in the description box as well. But it's called Perfect Sandwich Loaf, and everyone who's ever tried it has fallen in love with it. So every week I make my own bread, and I always make a double batch, and I divide the batch into 3 1.5 pound portions. 2 of them are for regular sandwich bread, and then 1 of them I always do something special with. Last week I showed you how to make apple fritter bread, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cinnamon roll pull-apart loaf, and this is another perfect option to give for a Christmas gift, and the ingredients are super simple and you already have them on hand. You're going to need 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter melted, a half a cup each of granulated sugar and brown sugar that's packed, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear, and I'm going to come back and we're going to roll this out, and then we're going to show you how this magic happens. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mix up our filling, and that is a half a cup of the granulated sugar and a half a cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to just go ahead and get this mixed up a little. Now I'm going to add the cinnamon. And just get that blended really, really well. As an alternative, you can also use pumpkin pie spice or apple pie spice. If that's what you have on hand, no worries, it'll work just as well. Okay, so the filling is ready to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and take our 1/4 cup of butter and just spread it all over your dough. Easy. And don't worry if it seems a little runny, that's okay. And I have rolled my dough out to about, I don't know, it's probably 15 by, it's just a little over 12 inches, I'd say, wouldn't you say? Yeah. And get that spread out as much as you can. Now add all of this lovely filling, and then you're going to get your hands in here, and you want to spread it all the way to the edge. And you can see how it's being soaked up by all that butter. Give it a good press and kind of embed it in the dough. Okay, now get your pizza cutter, and you're going to cut this into 6 strips. So I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut each half into 3. Now, you can take these and stack them. Okay, now again, you're going to cut each one of these into 6. All right, Now, take these and grab your pan and just kind of stack them in there and kind of squeeze them in there so that they'll all fit. I promise this is all going to work out in the end. If it gets a little wonky, don't worry, it's going to be fine. Okay, now get that in there, give it a good press. Looks like a hot mess, I know. Now we're going to let this rise for 30 minutes before we bake it. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. This is going to go in the oven after it's risen, but I'll bring you back before we put it in the oven so you can see what it looks like. All right, our bread has risen for about a half an hour, and you see it's nice and puffy, and I told you not to worry. It's filled out the loaf pan just perfectly. Now we're going to go ahead and pop this into 350 degree oven for 25 minutes, and we'll be back when it's ready to come out. Our cinnamon bun pull-apart bread just came out of the oven, and it is still bubbly a little bit, but what I want you to do is let this hang out for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn it out onto a pan, and then we're going to flip it just like we did with the apple fritter bread. If you didn't get a chance to see me make the apple fritter bread, I'll also leave a link to that at the end of this video, as well as down below in the information box. Sometimes I forget to leave those links in the information box, and if I do, just go ahead and remind me and I'll put them in there for you. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. This sat for longer than 5 minutes. I can pick up the pan now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invert it. Like this. I loosened all around the sides of the pan with this thin spatula. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So now we have to flip it back over. We'll do that just like that. And voila! You have a delicious cinnamon roll pull-apart bread, but we're not quite done. I went ahead and I made up a simple icing glaze, and I have a video on how I make this, and we're just gonna go ahead and drape that. This is gonna rival anything you've gotten from a bakery. I promise you. This is gonna be perfect for Christmas morning. It's perfect for gifts for your friends and neighbors. That about does it for the glaze. Beautiful. Well, there you have it. Our completely glazed and ready to go cinnamon roll pull apart bread. This is how it works. You literally pull it apart. Look. You just pull that off just like that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. I don't think Rick wants to try this, though, so, you know.
Spoil my dinner.
He would spoil your dinner. Yeah, and if you think he's serious, then, you know. Here.
That is excellent.
Oh, yeah. The brown sugar and the sugar filling, rather, it's given it a crustiness and a beautiful glaze on the top. But that added powdered sugar glaze icing, oh my gosh, it just sends it right over the top. You're gonna love this, I promise you. I promise you. There is another something that you can do with just a regular loaf of or portion of bread dough, just plain white bread dough. You can do a lot of things with that. I want to thank you for joining me today so you could see how I make this delicious cinnamon roll pull-apart bread. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hit that subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, please hit that little bell button so you don't miss out on any of the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present all the time right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give this cinnamon roll pull-apart bread a try, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya!